old guy in Colorado. Doodah. Hey everybody, Old Guy is here, and as always, I need to give homages to Mrs. Old Guy. Hey, really, if I don't, it's trouble, I'm telling you. Okay, so today I'm going to make some chocolate eclairs. I watched a video, the two fluffy bearded men, and Robert ate a really big chocolate eclair, and it made me want some. So here I am. I'm making some. Come on in, Mrs. Old Guy. I'm going to start with a cup of water. Put in a tablespoon of sugar. Put in a teaspoon of vanilla. And here I've got half a cup of butter. 8 tablespoons for those that need to know that. Come on, get in there. Alright, so I just got to let that kind of melt. It'll take a couple minutes, so when that's done, I'll be back. Homages to Mrs. Old Guy for fixing my shirt and making me look presentable. Okay, come on in, Mrs. Old Guy. So here's the sugar, butter, water, all that melted, and got a cup of AP flour here, and we're just going to put that in all at once. Stir it in. Okay, we're just going to have this, the burner is turned off, but there's still plenty of heat. I'm just going to kind of stir this around. Let it kind of cook over the heat here for about a minute or two. You can see that just formed a little ball. Okay, that's that part. We'll move on. Okay, now we're going to move on to the next little step here. We've got our flour and water and whatnot in here. Drop this into my my mixer-dupter. And I've got 4 eggs. I'm going to start adding these in 1 egg at a time. Whoop! Well, I guess I'll make it 2 eggs on that one. Come on in, Mrs. Old Guy. Just real quick, take a look at that. See how that kind of looks kind of not right? It's okay. Don't worry about it. If you're going to mix it by hand, it's all right. Just keep mixing it, and it will come back together. So don't let that freak you out. It looks like it's separating and getting thick. All right. Wait till those are completely mixed in. Oh, that looks pretty good. I'm going to add another one. If it'll let me do just one, there we go. So I think you got the idea here. I'm going to get the other egg added. And then we'll move on to the next part. Okay, I'm ready to start piping this onto a baking sheet. I got my pastry bag here. And I'm not going to do this with a tip. A lot of instruction will tell you to use a tip, but I'm not going to. Just load it in here real quick. This should make several. I think it might make a dozen or so regular ones. We'll see how many of the semi-larger ones I get out of this. Get that down a little bit. A little bit more left. Okay, close enough. Come on over here, Mrs. Old Guy. So normally they'd be about maybe 4 inches long or so, maybe an inch or so wide for a regular eclair. These will bake it. Whoop, air pocket. These will bake at about 400 degrees for 25 minutes, maybe 20. It just gonna kind of depend on your oven and your altitude. Okay, let's see if I can squeeze one more on here. I'm hoping that's not too close together. I guess I'll find out if it is. Been a while since I've made these. Alright, so I'm going to put these into the oven, set the timer, and but there is one thing. Don't peek at these when you're baking them. If you got a glass with the light, peek that way. Don't open the door. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's move on with the next part, the cream filling. Come on in, Mrs. Old Guy. So I've got this is a cup and 3/4 of milk, or actually it's a cup and 2/3 of milk and a cup and a 1/3 cup of heavy cream. Just mixed together. Turn on some heat. Got 1/2 cup of sugar. And I've got some cornstarch and a little bit of flour here. And I actually should have mixed this in first and then added it, but oh well, it'll still work. So I'm going to get this up to a boil, and then I'll add the eggs. I've got 2 whole eggs and 2 egg yolks. So when we get ready for that part, I'll be back. Alright, thick, ready to go. So these eggs are angry, I have to temper them. Temper. Put in some of this mixture here. It's called tempering the eggs. This will keep your eggs from just basically turning into scrambled eggs. If you just dump all those eggs in there and try to cook it, stir it in, you wouldn't be happy with the results. Okay, we'll add this back in now. Okay, so guys, we will be back in just a second. Okay, I had to stop because I didn't have my butter ready. So I'm going to add a tablespoon of butter. And a teaspoon and a half of vanilla. Alright, there's our filling for the eclairs. We're going to let that cool down. Here's the eclairs when they came out of the oven. They don't look too bad. So, we'll be back and finish putting this dessert together. Yay! Okay, one last step before we actually start putting these together. I'm going to make the chocolate part of the chocolate eclair. And if you hear some little yip yip yipping, it's our puppies in the back. Okay, Mrs. Old Guy, I've got a cup of powdered sugar here. Ruff, ruff, ruff. Yeah, I got some cocoa powder, and I'm going to put in 4 tablespoons, quarter cup. Okay. I've also got a teaspoon of vanilla. And when you're working with chocolate, you're always going to want to put in a little bit of salt, just a pinch. Okay. I'm going to use cream instead of milk this time, but milk is normally what I use. I'm just going to add this about a tablespoon at a time until it gets to the consistency that I want. And I guess it's going to be the same thing for you if you're making this. I'm not going to give you a set number because really where you live kind of makes the difference. Some places it's a lot drier of a climate, so you have to add more liquid. Other places, yeah, a little moisture of a climate, you need to add less liquid. So, all right, that's looking good. A little bit more. A little bit more. Oh yeah. See in there okay? Not quite there yet. Still just a little bit thick. And pour just another little bit right on the top here. It's all a little bit of guesswork. There we go. Get that so you can see it there. Okay, that looks just right for that frosting. Got a little more of the cream to mix in. We're there. So I'll be back in a minute and we'll finish putting these things together. Okay, let's put these eclairs together. All right, I've got the pastry cream here in my pastry bag. And this is just sitting in a glass, so that really helps to hold it. Get both hands. Alright. A lot of times people will, they're filled from the bottom, they're filled from the sides, from the ends. So it doesn't matter to me. I'm just going to cut them in half. Like so. Oh, look at that. Doesn't that look good? Nice squeeze on the inside. Bang! One's done. I'm going to do that to the rest of them, and then I'll get to the great big one. We'll be back. Okay, now to do one that I think was about the same size as over at Two Fluffy Bearded Men. Robert, this one I guess is going to be up to you to judge. You want to look down here, Mrs. Old Guy? And you can see how big I made this thing. The thing's humongous. There's a ton of this cream in here. Okay, the thing kind of fell apart on me when I was cutting it, but what do you think? I think that's pretty close to the same size. Got to get some chocolate on them now. I've got that here and ready. So how about if I get these covered with some chocolate, and then I'll be back. Here it is, that beautiful eclair, ready to go. It's a regular sized eclair. And here is the monster that I'm going to do for the Eclair challenge that Robert kind of threw out. So I'm going to sit down at the table with some milk, and There will be a timer, and we'll see how long it takes. We'll see you in a minute. Okay, this is really going to get messy. I don't have any, I'm not even going to be able to pick it up. I'm going to have to kind of slide it off the plate as I go. But on the count of 1, and 2, and 3. Getting everywhere. Man, it's big. I bet that weighs 3/4 of a pound. Man, I'm making a big old mess. Ugh. We call that done. That was delicious. That was great. What an awesome competition that was. Great challenge. Thank you. two fluffy bearded men. That was great. I appreciate it. I know you didn't call me out, but I did accept the forwarded challenge to anyone. It was great. It gave me an excuse to make some yummy eclairs. Thanks everybody for watching. Hey, my new subscribers, take care. We'll see you next time. Bye now.